Hi, I'm Alex, and this is my recipe for cheesecake-stuffed banana bread ring. Y'all already know how much I like banana bread and cheesecake. This is just same but different. So this was actually a sequel recipe from a recipe that Alvin had made for a cookies and cream stuffed bundt cake. Bundt pans were kind of like a thing. So I wanted to play around with a bundt pan and a new flavor, I guess an old flavor, but a strong flavor in a new way. So because I'm obsessed with banana bread and cheesecake, I decided to go with banana bread and cheesecake. How original. So the banana bread for this is classic, one I've used for a lot of different videos at this point. The way we're switching it up here is the method. So baking it in a bundt pan and filling it with the cheesecake. So of course, for any banana bread, you should use ripe bananas. The darker, the better. This will just make sure they had all of that natural sweetness that you want in your banana bread. Never throw away your black bananas. So a tip from Alexis is that if you have dark bananas that are getting too dark and you don't feel like making a banana bread at that point, store them in the freezer. Don't throw them away. That's banana blasphemy. So again, super simple. You're gonna pour your banana bread batter into a greased bundt pan. If you don't have a bundt pan, I don't know what to tell you. Then you can't do this recipe because it specifically calls for a bundt pan. I like big bunts and I cannot lie. Spread that out to make sure it's all in an even layer. Then you're gonna bring in your cheesecake filling that we already made and was cooling. Spread that out with a spatula and then pour the rest of your banana bread batter on top. While you're baking your bundt, you're gonna make the caramel, which will go on top of this bundt cake, which is something you should not skip because it really puts this one over the edge. So for the caramel, you're gonna start by cooking down your sugar. You wanna make sure it gets all golden brown and caramelized before you add the butter in. So throw in the butter, that'll melt down, transfer it off the heat, and then throw in the heavy cream. Once the caramel's all mixed up, it might be a little loose, but once you cool it down, it will thicken right up. So while we're waiting for this cake to bake, you might as well just go and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So now that our cake is all baked, it's time for the fun part. Flipping it over should pop right out if you remembered to grease your bundt pan. And then you just pour your caramel drizzle right all over that thing. So this recipe is pretty fun because it's like a stuffed cake ring. So it's not actually like cheesecake, more as like a cheesecake filling. So it's still like the flavor of a cheesecake, that tanginess and sweetness. You don't have to set it like you would have to set a cheesecake because it's just the filling. This was really quite delicious, I have to say. I've done a banana bread bottom cheesecake. I've done a banana bread ice cream cake. I do a lot of banana things. It's one of my favorites.